Hey guys, James here, Appalachian DIY. I want to talk today a little bit about this Blue Devil. This is a head gasket sealer, permanent repair guaranteed. I've got what I believe to be a blown head gasket on this Honda over here, and I've used this product in the past on customers' cars, but I've never actually tried it on my own. So I've already tested for combustion gases in the cooling system. And if you don't know how to do that, you can try this product right here. It's a block tester or a combustion leak detector, and basically in which you will place it here on the radiator and attempt to suck up some combustion gases if there are any. And anyway, so that's how we determined that the head gasket is most likely the cause. But this Blue Devil here is actually guaranteed to permanently repair head gasket leak. Now this is a smaller one. This one runs about $40, and this is made for 4 or 6 cylinder engines. And if you read the instructions, it actually says for 3 to 4 gallons of coolant of your cooling system capacity to use half a quart, which is how large this is. So, and for larger engines, you would use the $60 bottle of Blue Devil. I'm not sure exactly what the difference is, but the directions are actually different. On a larger bottle for larger engines, it actually requires removal of the thermostat. On this car, it's right down here, and also flushing of the cooling system. It's not required on this one according to the directions. I'm not sure why the instructions are different, but for this one, the only instructions are basically to do it when the engine is cold and allow enough room in the radiator to add the Blue Devil, start the engine, and let it idle for 50 minutes. Alright, so the engine's been cooled down for about 7 hours. I just drained the coolant. It actually smells like gas in there. So if the hydrocarbon test wasn't enough, then you get to stick your nose down in there and smell gas. So the directions say to, when the engine's cold, drain the radiator a little bit down enough for the capacity of the Blue Devil, start the engine, and then turn the heater on max. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, it says slowly pour the Blue Devil into the radiator and take 1 minute for the entire bottle. So take 1 minute to pour. So basically pour it slowly. Well, that's sticky. It's still on my hands a little bit now. It's like all sticky. You can see it's like shiny. It's like already sticky. Alright, so after pouring Blue Devil, slowly replace radiator cap. Let the vehicle idle with cap on for 50 minutes at normal operating temperature. Alright, so I let it run the 50 minutes last night, it said, and I'm a little concerned because it actually did start to overheat before the 50 minutes was up, so I had to turn it off, and so I'm kind of concerned that it may not work. I don't know how close it has to be to the 50 minutes, but yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of concerned. Anyway, so this morning I went ahead and topped off the system, bled it. Now it's been running for about 15 minutes, and so far it's not overheating. The heater's blowing nice and hot, and the pressure in the cooling system hasn't built up so bad yet where the hoses can't be squeezed. So this is about 15 minutes on. And usually this hose gets so hard that I can't squeeze it at all. And you remember that bulge right here? It starts bulging out right here because the hose has gotten weak and the pressure gets too high. So it hasn't done that yet. But like I said, it's only been running for about 15 minutes. So what I'm gonna do, I guess I'm just gonna let it run for another 15 minutes or so, and then I'm just gonna drive it this morning as long as I can, and just see what's gonna happen. If it starts to overheat, then maybe the Blue Devil didn't work, or maybe when it overheated last night, it made the gasket worse or something. I don't know. So we're really not going to know. We'll drive it around and see what happens. And if it starts to overheat again, I'll probably do another hydrocarbon test in the radiator. And if we find hydrocarbons, then I'm going to say that the Blue Devil didn't work. If we don't, then I guess we could say it did. But either way, I'll drive it around and then let you know what happens. Alright, so here's the deal. It's been about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks since I ran this Blue Devil. Rather than finishing the video up that next day, I decided to just go ahead and drive it around for a while and see how it was going to do. And it actually ended up overheating that very next time I drove it. And so I pulled the thermostat out, even though this pour and go, it doesn't say anything about removing the thermostat like the big bottle does. But I went ahead and removed the thermostat because I just wasn't sure that that procedure was actually going to work, because it ended up overheating, whenever I was doing the thing. But anyways, this is what I found all over the thermostat. This is the Blue Devil. This piece was just stuck right here on the top of the thermostat, and then it's got this crustiness all over it. All these pieces here, all these pieces were came off the thermostat, and then plus what's still all corroded on there. I don't know if it actually was keeping it from opening, and that's why it overheated, or what was going on with that. But either way, I pulled the thermostat out, and it hasn't overheated since. So anyways, I went ahead and reran the block test for the combustion gases in the cooling system, and it gave me a clean test, so that's good. I am noticing still, I'm noticing some coolant smell out of the tailpipe a little bit. There's no smoke or anything, but there is a slight coolant smell. But either way, after 2 weeks, the car hasn't overheated, and I haven't lost any coolant, and the pressure in the hose that I was showing you before, it's not like that anymore. The pressure doesn't seem to be building up too high, and the coolant level and the overflow has remained the same as well. So all in all, it looks like it's sort of worked. I'm not 100% convinced, and if I had to do it again and recommend this product right here, I would recommend to go ahead and pull the thermostat. Even though it doesn't tell you to, it does tell you to do it on the big one, and I think even for the small one, I think you should, because this crap that gets built up all over here, even if it doesn't hurt anything, I think it reduces the effectiveness of how this installation goes, And another thing that I would say is, if your car can't idle for 50 minutes without overheating, then this isn't going to work. Mine started overheating in about 40 minutes with the thermostat in. I think that maybe if the thermostat wasn't in, it might have been able to go for the other 10 minutes. I don't know. But either way, I think this is a good product. I've used it before. It's worked. I'm not 100% convinced on my car that it's done 100% repair. You know, after 2 weeks, it seems to be okay. It's not overheating. I'm not losing coolant. So I pulled all the spark plugs as well. There's no coolant. There's no signs of any coolant anywhere where it shouldn't be, other than the slight coolant odor out of the tailpipe. So I'm going to go ahead and say that it worked for now. And at least, if anything, it's bought me some time until I can do it the right way. So anyways, recommendations on this product: pull a thermostat, make sure it's completely full of coolant. Make sure you can get it to idle for the 50 minutes that it requires without overheating. If you have to, wire your fan, your radiator fan, to stay on, which I ended up doing that too. Just trying it out just to see like if it would even come close to overheating or undercooling or anything. It seemed to be doing fine, so I just did it as a safety precaution, just in case I was out in stop and go traffic and it started overheating, and I could just, you know, make sure the fan was on, because when those combustion gases build up in there, you know, it could push an air pocket to where the radiator fan switch is, in which case it can't read the temperature correctly, so it doesn't kick the fan on. And I think that's what happens a lot of the time, at least on my cars, what was happening, because of where the fan switch sits. It's real easy for coolant to not touch it. So especially if there's an air pocket in there from combustion gases or anything like that. So I ended up doing that for a safety precaution. I just wired up the fan switch so that I could turn it on anytime I wanted to, and it'll also still turn on with if it reaches the right temperature, it'll turn on as well. But just in case it doesn't and the car starts to overheat, I can flip it on. So that's for emergency cases only. This appears to have worked for now. For 2 weeks it's been working. I'm gonna say that it's at least a temporary repair. Another thing I'll say is that I did look up the procedure for getting your money back, because this is guaranteed. Really, from what it seems like, you just need to hold on to the receipt and hold on to the bottle, and you know, they probably want you to have it professionally installed. But I mean, how professional do you need to be to pour a bottle of stuff into a radiator? I mean, you don't really need to be an expert. So I don't know. So I don't know what the process is. If they're gonna give me a hassle if I try and get my money back, you know. But I have a picture of the block test, so maybe they will, maybe they won't, if I decide that I need to go that route. But either way, pull a thermostat, even though it doesn't say to. Top it off with coolant. Make sure before you even start this that it's gonna be able to run for 50 minutes. So if you have to, you know, do the whole thing without pouring this in. Let it idle for 50 minutes and see if it overheats. And if it doesn't, then let it cool back down, get it cold again, and start all over using the Blue Devil. Because if it only runs for 20 minutes and before it overheats, then this isn't going to work, and they're not going to give you your money back, because that's one of the specific questions, is were you able to let it idle for 50 minutes? If you can't let it idle for 50 minutes without overheating, then you're not going to get your money back. This is going to be a wasted $40 or $60, however much you spent on it. So definitely keep that in mind when you're looking to do this, and good luck. It's expensive even to do this on this car myself, you know, with everything that's involved, and then sending the head off to have it checked. You know, that's going to cost several $100s, which I don't have. So for this was 40 plus a gallon of coolant was 13. You know, so for 50 bucks, essentially, I could drive the car without worrying so much about it overheating. So yeah, anyways, good luck, and hopefully this helps. And if there's any other questions that you have, you know, feel free to ask. You know, there's a lot of stuff that I recorded in this video that I'm not gonna have time to put in. So there may be something that I covered that I just didn't put in the video because it's already long enough. And anyway, just yeah, just good luck, and hopefully this works for you. It does work. I'm not down this product. I've seen it work. It seems to be working okay in mine. So anyway, good luck, and thanks for watching.